Hi, this is Tim. Today we're going to talk about how to download your program to an Allen Bradley Micro820 PLC using the Connected Components Workbench software. And this actually works for the Micro810, the Micro820, the Micro830, the Micro850, and the Micro870. Pretty much Allen Bradley's entire line of Micro800 PLCs. And we're going to be using our PLC trainer, and it is already wired for the Getting Started guide. A couple things before we get started. Please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel. We put out at least one automation video every week. And down in the comments, ask questions, because the questions you ask in the comments could easily be next week's automation video. One other thing before we get started, and this isn't an endorsement, this wasn't given to me, it's just something I ran across and I always try to share with you guys when I find neat things, is this is a new USB to Ethernet adapter that I'm playing with. USB on one side, Ethernet on the other, but it also has a built-in 3-port USB switch in it. So if you have a computer like mine, it has 2 USB adapters on it. By the time I plug my USB into one and maybe a serial to USB adapter such as a PMO2 cable for Micrologix in the other, all my ports are tied up. So this lets you get 3 more USB ports when you plug your adapter in, whether you just need to charge your phone or you have a bunch more USB adapters that you need. I haven't played with it a lot yet, so I can't swear that it's great, but I'll put a link to it in the description if you're interested. So before we can download our program, we either need to know the IP address that's in the PLC, or we need to assign an IP address to it if it's a brand new PLC. Now this is a brand new PLC out of the box, and I'm going to use the PLC Tools IP Explorer to assign its address. So we're going to unplug the cable. We'll plug this directly in. We're going to go to assign IP, and we just assigned it 192.168.10. We're going to go ahead and set that to static. Now, if you're not following what I did there, I actually have videos showing exactly how I do that. And in fact, the parts that you see that it seems like we rushed through here, chances are we already have videos for, so check the description. We're going to go ahead and plug that back in, and now we're going to bring up our CCW software. Now, I've already configured my Ethernet IP driver in RS Links, and I'll put a link in the description that goes through exactly how to do that. Also, we have a video on how to connect serially to it if you're having trouble connecting it to it over Ethernet. Now we're ready to download our program in CCW, and I already have it opened here, and this is just our basic Getting Started program that comes in all of our trainers. And right here we have our controller bar, and this includes being able to connect to the PLC, building our project if you wanted to verify that you had no errors, download and upload. Now remember, this is like the most important thing, and the biggest error I see beginners make is upload and download are swapped in PLCs. So we upload programs from the PLC to our computer. We download programs from our computer to the PLC. So it's exactly the opposite. And I think I may do a video soon trying to maybe explain why we do that, and hopefully try to get it through our heads which way is which. Because I get that call an alarming amount where someone says, hey, I downloaded the program from my PLC and all of a sudden the machine quit working. Well, no, chances are you just downloaded a blank program into your PLC and your machine is dead. While we have these right here, and if your connection paths and everything are set up right, they work great. If you want to make sure you get it right every time, go to Device, and then we're going to go to Set Connection Path. And then we'll use the Browse button, and we're going to navigate and find our PLC. And you can see I've got a lot of them out here where we have been connected to various other things, but they're going to all get red access through them. And we see our Micro820 PLC here at 192.168.110. We're going to click OK and close, and that's going to set our path where now we can use either this download button, or we can go back to Device here and use this download button. And then you're going to get this warning. Chances are you'll always get this warning, just depends on the versions of your PLC, is the current version of this PLC is version 10, and the latest version is version 12. And it's asking us, do you want to update and download? So yes, we're going to need to update the firmware in our PLC to download our version 12 program. And now is the time to make sure you're patient, make sure that you don't have any power savers or anything like that that may shut your computer off, because anything that interrupts this firmware update could brick your PLC. And what that means is you have a PLC that will no longer operate. All right, now that our firmware matches, we can download the program into our PLC. So we're just going to go to Device and Download. And you have two options. You can either download your program, which is just going to download the program structure, or you can download the program with project values. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the values that you have saved in this offline program and put them into the controller as well. So since this is my first time downloading this, I want to do it with project values. That way I get all those settings that I have saved into here. Okay, this is an important prompt here. It says downloading the current Ethernet settings will result in a disconnection from the controller. Continue with downloading Ethernet settings. And so what that's saying there is, however this was configured is not exactly the same as how our PLC program is configured. But you want to make sure that you know what your Ethernet settings are before you hit that yes button. Because if they're wrong, it could change the IP address in this and make it really difficult to figure out what IP address it is at now. In fact, you almost have to have one of the PLC tools, IP Explorers, to do it. I'm gonna click yes. Even though those Ethernet settings did match what's in the PLC, you'll notice it took us offline. And it does that by default. So now we're just gonna click this connect button, and now we're gonna be online. And we can tell that because we have our red and blue indicators on our rungs. One thing you'll notice is if we actually try to operate this program, which we'll go through how it does in just a second, nothing's working. And that's because when it kicked us offline, it never gave us that prompt to switch back to run mode. So we're gonna click on our Micro820 here on the left pane. And right here in the middle, we're in remote, but we're in program mode. So we're gonna switch over to run mode. It's gonna ask us if we wanna switch from program to run mode. And now we're in run. If we press our buttons, our lights come on like they're supposed to. So that's the basics of how to download a program to a Micro820 PLC. So far, we've gone through how to download the Connected Components Workbench software. We've done our basic getting started exercise that tells you how to wire a PLC, configure communications over Ethernet to your PC, over serial to your PC. We've uploaded a program from our PLC, and now we've downloaded a program to our PLC. So now we're going to start going through some of the instruction sets and really start learning how to program with the Connected Components Workbench software. Again, please hit that like button. It really helps keep us going on these videos. Hit the subscribe so you know when we put out the next video. Also, if this video helped you make some money, but you're not actually using our products, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Till next time.
Hi, this is Tim.
And this is Amber of TW Controls.
We run the automation store.
Be sure to subscribe for more great videos.
And like this video and comment on what you would like to see next.
Visit our website where we offer a full line of PLCs, simulators, control panels, PLC trainers, and more.